When I talk about democratization of creativity, that's what I see. People that have a lot of creative minds, that don't have the technical skills, can produce technical work, can produce a nice video.
Especially right now, these tools are so powerful, we haven't really scratched the surface of what you can do with them. So I think these competitions and all these companies getting together to encourage people to create and to push these models to the limit, maybe sometime breaking them. When I first started with doing community work about a year ago with Freepik, the events that we were having, it was just us trying to convince people that AI was not evil. And within a year, like 10 months, the conversation has shifted on like, how do I get on board with AI? Because now people are realizing that not everyone is using AI in the way they're expected, and everyone is creating high quality. There's so many new developments, especially in the Gen AI industry, and it's our job right now is to catch up, to be up to whatever is newest and to adapt to it. There is no guidebook of what to do and how to do it these days because it's so new.
You are listening to AI Insights San Francisco by Ron Weigert.
Hello, and welcome to this new AI Insights San Francisco episode. Today, I'm with Enrique Lopez. He's the community specialist at Freepik. And he helps people to work together by sharing ideas and organizing events. He teaches people how to use AI to help them to be more creative, work faster, and save time. And also make it designable for possible for more people. And also, he makes sure the technology is used on the right and a good way. Enrique, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate your time and coming here today.
My pleasure. I'm very excited to have this conversation.
Yes. So I always like to understand your background, where you're coming from. Yeah. So you have been working on academia, nonprofit, tech. What is the difference between those different backgrounds?
So it's a huge difference. I've been working in tech for now a year and a half. I left academia last summer. And the difference is just the pace. What we're seeing right now and what we're experiencing right now is it's something that I've never expected I was going to experience. There's so many new developments, especially in the Gen AI industry, and it's our job right now is to catch up, to be up to whatever is newest and to adapt to it. There is no guidebook of what to do and how to do it these days because it's so new. So it's also, there's a lot more risks that need to be taken, calculated risks. But if you want to stay innovative and you want to stay at the top of the industry, you have to take some risks. And if you have a big company and a big community that backs you up, and you have a good product as well, those risks often pay off. And that's a very different sector that what I was doing before with academia.
Interesting, yeah, because when you work in academia, you need to follow process that have been wrote for many, many years. You just need to follow that steps. If you're going to, for example, create an academic article, you know where the journals need to looking for, the steps you need to take, the structure to compose that article. But then you go to AI, it's everything like
everything's changing so fast.
Everything's changed so fast,
and everyone is doing things a little bit different. So our job right now is to try to stay, to be different to everyone else, and to learn from what competitors are doing and what the industry is doing, and to really observe it, to take that knowledge and put it into place. Also listening to the community, I think that's very new. Being a listening ear of our users and applying that feedback that we get into whatever we're doing, if that's community events, if that's product betas, whatever we're doing, to have a close and open ear.
Yeah, I want to go over this more in a second, but I want to understand how you first get involved with the AI and the creative tech space.
Yeah, it was a bit unexpected. I joined Freepik first as an educational technology researcher. With my background in academia, I was teaching research methods classes to university students. So I joined the Freepik team through a product they have called SlidesGo, which is a presentation maker and educational tools for teachers using AI. So I joined them through this position of an ed tech researcher. I joined the San Francisco team, which was pretty small at the time, and as the company grew and different priorities shifted within the company, they saw a lot more use for me in the marketing and community space. So slowly I transitioned partially into these new roles. So I still do some research, and I think that's a passion of mine. But I think that translates very nicely to the community work that I'm doing. The ability to ask good questions to users, to take that feedback, to communicate it nicely to the team, and to take action.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. And then for people that don't know the background of Freepik, can you tell me a little bit of the Freepik journey, like how it started from stock photos into this new AI suite that have all these different tools inside?
Yeah, we're an anomaly. We're able to adapt, and that's all thanks to our CEO, Joaquin Cuenca. Freepik started in 2010 and as a stock asset for designers, stock asset company for designers and for creatives. In 2021, when DALL-E 1 came out, our CEO realized that the industry was going to take a big shift. And slowly, he started taking steps to adapt the whole company.
Just one thing for people that don't know, the DALL-E is the model of generate multi-model photos, videos, images.
Yeah, it was the first time that we were able to generate an image from text, and it was not very high quality at the time, but the vision of our CEO, he took a big risk. We're just talking about risks, and I think it paid off. So in 2023, we made a transition into an AI suite. We started with our own model using the stock images that we had to train it, but we realized that the business model that was best for us was to include different models that were at the top of the market and labs that were specialized into developing these new tools, these new AI tools, and to integrate them into one place, into an AI suite, what we call it, and to complement it as well with editors, with different other specialized tools within it to allow users access to Gen AI tools under one place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of my questions that I have is about how the models are trained, because first, like you mentioned, you started by creating your own models, and then you pivot for using the models already in the market because they have been doing that for way longer time. So how for the people that has those concerns, how we do how does Freepik act on this between now?
Yeah. So right now that we onboard different models, that we integrate different models into our suite, there's a legal team that vets all of them to make sure that it complies with whatever legal requirements they have in the country of origin and the country where they're going to be used. A very important factor of our safety is that whatever you generate within the Freepik AI suite is not used to train any of those models that we have or our own models. So whatever you're generating in Freepik is not going to be used to train anything. And that's very different if you were to use the tools of the specific lab that they have. They might be using whatever you're generating to train their own models and make them better. But a lot of creatives don't like that. So if you use Freepik, if you're using specific images to train a LoRa, for example, or if you are using image references of yourself and whatever you're generating is not used to train any of the models that we have in our suite. So all your creations are safe.
Right. I remember Freepik when I was, because I started by, I think I did a course 2009 or 2010 as HTML web designer. So that was my first time doing web design. And then I remember doing HTML pages back then, like a long time ago. I think it was like this amount of time. And then I remember often going to the Freepik website, getting some bottoms icons. That was very good. Yeah. That's like whenever like we say Freepik, that's come in my mind. And it's very incredible to see, like you say, how the company was able to evolve throughout those years and be able to adapt with the new technologies.
Yeah, it's been I mean, I've been in the company for a year and a half, so I haven't been able to see the whole transition, but I've been able to be part of it and a big chunk of it. And to this day, when we host events or office, people come and they're like, "You're Freepik, like the stock and the icons company." I was like, "Yeah, but like we did a shift, but you still have access to the stock images and all the icons, and you can still pull them from the AI suite and interact with them in different ways." So we still have all of that in our suite on top of all this new Gen AI amazing models as well. So if you're a traditional and you're still looking for a stock, it's still there.
Still there, yeah. And do you see more applications towards image to text to image, text to video, video to video, image, video? What is the most, because we have a lot of ways to interact with the tool. What is the most things that you often see people using it?
I think for a lot of people that are starting to use Gen AI, it's text to image. Because it's a fun thing to write whatever you're imagining and then seeing it come to life in front of your eyes. A lot of more professional people and a lot of people that have experience are using a lot of image to image because they want to use an image for reference, either for color, for composition, for whatever you want. It's much easier and it has a lot more fidelity for what you're looking for. If you have a specific vision, it's easier to bring it from an image to an image. But I mean, it's changing so fast these days. Now you can do video to video with some models, and I don't know what the future is gonna hold for us of how you're able to generate.
How do you see the main benefits with AI on those creative workflows that we see in real life? For example, you see a lot of cost reduction, speed. How do you compare these new tools with the traditional production methods that we have in place right now?
Yeah, I think speed and quality. I think the quality that you're able to get now from Gen AI, it's pretty incredible, and how fast you're able to get it. It's with just from the model itself, but also with upscalers. You're able to get something super high quality in seconds. What we're doing at Freepik, I think it brings together all those benefits by hosting all of these different models in one place, by cutting a lot of cost. Each model has different costs and a different experience within their own platforms. What we're doing is just unifying all of them under one price, and with a very accessible UI for the user. And we don't only have the models, we also have the editors. So you're able to go from ideation to final editing, all within the Freepik suite and all within one price. And that's what a lot of people are looking for right now. And also the speed that we're able to integrate the new models into our suite, so users are not looking to access them and paying a lot of money for to play with the newest models. We make sure to integrate them the day off or the next day that they release, and if you're a user, then you have access to it, and you can start generating.
That's a very interesting point, because we have, for example, there's some models that cost $300 per month. So how are you guys able to cut that cost and be able to fraction this into a user that just want to produce a couple scenes?
Well, cost right now is still pretty high for Gen AI. Especially right now we're doing unlimited images for some of our more premium subscriptions. So if you have one of those, you're able to generate as many images as you want. And if you're using those images to then generate video, then your usage and your GPUs, it starts increasing a lot. So right now what we're looking for is to increase enterprise customers, because the generations they're doing are much higher, and the quality that they're doing is much higher. So we're able to increase profits in that way as well.
When you say enterprise clients, would be companies that have marketing teams inside them, or be production video companies that offer to those clients?
Yeah, if you're looking for enterprise, you're looking for control. You're looking for security as well. So it's a lot of the bigger companies with design teams or creative teams within it. There's also studios, creative agencies, all these people that is more than one or two people generating, and they want to keep that control and cost down, because for enterprises also pay for what you use. So you're able to toggle down and turn off some of the most expensive models if you're in just testing mode, and make sure that your team is not spending a ton of credits or a ton of money into using VO3
Right.
for just a quick prototype for a quick video. And that control and the safety that we offer as well through legal indemnification is also a huge selling point for our enterprise customers.
Yeah. So, what is the policy guardrails that you offer for like enterprise companies that want to go?
Yeah. Well, legally there is indemnification. So if you get into some type of legal battle with anyone, Freepik will jump in and support with whatever legally we can do to make sure that our clients are safe and they can continue to use our platform comfortably without the hesitation of copyrights or infringements. And that also allows us to have some flexibility with the type of indemnification that we offer, depending on the type of client and the type of deal that is being made.
Because I think the big tech companies, they take care of this, right? That level of details, right?
Yeah. If you're gonna go global with a campaign, you want it to be super clean, and you want to minimize every risk that you have. So we're able to take care of that through our legal team as well. Also, creatively, we also support creatives. So if a big company it's starting to use Freepik, we can offer some of our creative people to train your team on how to use it efficiently and most productively. Or if you have a specific solution or an issue that you're encountering with your current creative workflow, we're able to jump in and try to problem solve with you and our team.
Yeah, so we go to a lot of events in San Francisco, United States, and there's some questions that people always ask this, because pretty much we go out and talk about generative AI and other and applications. I see a lot of concern on the community regarding the replacement of traditional work to the AI work. How do you see that? Because we can now generate images from text that would be necessarily be made by a photographer. So some things will be replaced, but there's some things that can never be replaced. So what is your vision, your opinion around that topic?
Well, our goal is not to replace creatives. Our vision is for Freepik to be one more of their tools that they can tap into. We've seen this technological revolution many times with digital cameras, with Photoshop, where a lot of traditional creatives felt a wave of change that they weren't ready for or that they're unfamiliar with, and the logical reaction is to push it back and to be against it. And we completely understand that, and I think that's why, as a community specialist for Freepik, it's one of my most important jobs to make sure that creatives understand that this is just one more tool in their toolkit, and if you learn to use it effectively, it's going to be able to really bring your work to a whole new level of efficiency, of cost, of quality, and the people that are able and are willing to jump into it and learn these tools and be curious about it and innovate through their work are going to be able to really upscale their creativity with one more tool. And we're not proposing for photographers to throw away the cameras. We love photography. We have photographers and videographers in our events very often because they're still very much necessary. This is just another tool for you to create with a lot of power, of course. And it's important to acknowledge the power that it has and how it's changing the way that we're thinking and we're creating, but also always inviting the community to listen to what they have to say so we can adapt to it and create the best tool for creators.
One thing that I have been going through those communications, and I see some people always saying, some people that are more old school, and they say photographers and people on the design, back when Photoshop was launched, there was a lot of buzz around, like, oh, we don't, like, the editor is going to die, like, this editor is not going to, like, it's going to be everything automatic. But they're still using until today tools like Photoshop, and and they're incredible.
Yeah.
So I don't see. I've been doing a lot of photography and a lot of image manipulation. I need Photoshop. I cannot leave. Like sometimes if I'm getting a computer, there's no Photoshop. I don't know how to edit photo anymore. I become like, I try to do in Canva, or I cannot work.
And it's also very important to communicate this to creatives. Like, they're the experts. Not everyone can generate, but not everyone's going to be able to generate something that is high quality or like ready for a campaign. The expertise that you bring from your traditional craft, from your traditional photography, the theory that you have, the knowledge, is going to translate to AI, and is going to make you stand out from the rest. So if you already have your career in videography and you understand it in a different way, composition, color correcting, depth of field, now you have so much control with AI that you're able to really translate all your experience into prompting or into a reiteration or into different type of scenes and different models, and experiment with them and bring your experience into a new platform.
That's why I see a lot of videos generated by AI. They're not good.
Yeah.
Because they're not good because someone that doesn't have experience on videography tried to do the video, and that's why feels without a soul, the content. There's just the content, and then some clients come to us like, oh, you want to charge me $5,000 on this video? I can just go to Sora and do it for I don't know, like way less, like $200 or whatever. But they don't have this expertise to transform that video into a message that and storytelling can be transformed.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of this gap between both sides still.
And I think that's when I first started with doing community work about a year ago with Freepik. The events that we were having, it was just I was trying to convince people that AI was not evil. And within a year, 10 months, the conversation has shifted on how do I get on board with AI? Because now people are realizing that not everyone is using AI in the way they're expected, and not everyone is creating high quality. So there's still a lot of room for you to shine among all the slop that is happening in AI. And that's a very exciting time right now, where people are just eager to learn the tools and jump in and understand and become educated on how to use them effectively to communicate their own stories.
Another sentence that I always see coming up on those events, there you go, democratization of creativity.
Yeah.
What is your vision about that?
Democratization of creativity. I love how that sounds. I think there's a lot of power into this idea that AI is democratizing creativity and creation. I think it's doing that some sort, but I think we have to be careful in how vast and how generous we're being with the idea of democratization, because you and I are living in this bubble where we're going to AI events multiple times a week. We're talking to developers, we're talking to researchers, you're talking to CEOs, you're talking to the minds building all of this. And we have to understand that this is just a little secluded bubble, that it's not accessible by all the world. Mm-hmm. So when we talk about democratization, we have to talk about education, we have to talk about community building, especially when it comes to creativity. Creatives love to feel human, and they like to talk with other creatives. And I think that's also a very important aspect of my role right now as a community specialist. I think education, when you talk about democratization, you should also talk about how you're educating people to use these tools, and how this idea of accessibility is actually impacting the way that creators are using your tool. Because we talk about accessibility by financial means, you talk about accessibility by ability of people to create, by resources, by time. There is all these things that AI could help improve. But it is up to the people that are developing these tools to do a good job and to be responsible, to democratize intentionally, and to be aware of all these cultural shifts that are happening and social shifts. There's still a lot of people against it for a lot of good reasons and valid reasons. So how do you navigate the pushback that we're getting? How are we navigating the regulations that are going to be in place that are slowly taking shape? And how do you keep your users in mind? Because the creatives using the tool are making the tool, you know.
Exactly.
They're the bosses of how the tool is going and how it continues to develop. So when we talk about democratization, I think it's just it's a nice vision to have, and I agree with it, and I'm on board with it. But I think we have to be intentional about how we talk about that.
In my opinion, I have been working over 10 years on video production, from freelancer to agency owner, video agency owner, throughout different years. And one thing that I encountered multiple times is very creative people, amazing people that has a lot of ideas, but they don't have the technical skills to get a camera. They don't have the technical skills to edit a video. They don't have the technical skills to produce that content, but have very good ideas. And sometimes they don't have a budget to pay to run all those ideas. When you talk about democratization of creativity, that's what I see. People that have a lot of creative minds, they don't have the technical skills, can produce technical work, can produce a nice video as an outcome. And with this, they can have a POC or even start to sell that content on a way that was not able to do before.
Absolutely. I mean, we did an event not too long ago. We did a what would we call it? A film.
The AI film hackathon.
An AI film hackathon, and in that there was one team that they worked on a project that was a history of a Persian goddess or a Persian princess, and it was a vision of one of the event attendees that she had just this fascination for this story, but she hadn't been able to bring it to life. So what she did, it was do some research, historical research, in the 3 or 4 hours that they were hacking and video generating, and she was able to, in a very short period of time, write a script, a historical accurate script, turn it into a character, turn that character into a video with different scenes, and that was just a great example on how this is just giving access for people to tell the stories that they've been wanting to tell for a long time, and they just haven't been able to find the tools, the resources to do it in a realistic way.
I think I might have this video because they post on Discord. They're gonna just play here and put the credits of everyone, because I think that was very interesting. I also had the chance to talk to her in that event that we were participating there. It was that's exactly example that that I'm talking about. A way that they can transform what they have in their minds and apply into a physical and visual work, which was very good.
Yeah, for a minimal amount of credits. So a very minimal cost in 3 hours, and she did it with 3 people that she met right there, or 3 or 4 people that she met right there. So I think that's a great example of AI democratizing creativity and bringing storytelling to reality.
Yeah, this was the hackathon that we organized with the AI Collective here in Oakland by San Francisco.
Yeah.
How have you been seeing other competitions coming along? We have the Chroma Awards that now is about to go this weekend.
Yeah.
And how do you see the importance of the competitions like that?
I think all these spaces are very much necessary right now. I think they're creating a lot of awareness. I think they're creating a lot of very important spaces for creatives to collaborate and to start this exploration with AI. And start this new journey with AI, not alone, and doing it with a team, with a shared vision, with a shared goal, hopefully with a shared price, because there's a lot of money being moved around. There is a lot of resources being pulled into all these competitions, and a lot of people can win really good prizes with all of this. I think Chroma, the prices are like
very high.
So yeah, I don't want to say a number because I don't remember. But yeah, all these spaces where people are able to share their knowledge with each other and collaborate.
And I see a lot of, they can explore the maximum capabilities of the tools, because providers, they give credits for people to use it. So I think it's a win-win for both situations, where they can use the maximum capabilities, because some people are limited by budget, which is completely normal. No, like it's not. If you would just want to play around for fun, you're not gonna spend $1,000 just for fun to test the tool. It's and the other side, we have the companies that need to charge to be able to use the product, because if not, it's not viable. But also, it's like the egg and the chicken problem, because then you need to give it credits, but then you consume credits, and this costs money, and the people need to use it to see the capabilities. So I think this competition can mix both sides, and then people can fully understand the limitations of each tool and limitations of everything, and then they can afterwards continue this tool professionally and use this for work projects and things like that.
Especially right now, these tools are so powerful, we haven't really scratched the surface of what you can do with them. So I think these competitions and all these companies getting together to encourage people to create and to push these models to the limit, maybe sometime breaking them, but that's just a great learning point. But really understanding what people are able to do with just Gen AI tools.
Right.
Yeah.
We touch a point a lot of times on community.
Yeah.
Of course, you work in the community, but why don't just do this virtually? Why is it important to build those communities locally?
Well, I think, especially coming post-COVID, and I think the development of AI came at a very interesting social time for us. We're seeking a lot of human connection after being isolated for more than 2 years. And we suddenly came back into the world with this like amazing new tool that we're kind of afraid of and excited about, and we're not really understanding how it works. And when you talk to creatives, the best way they learn is from other creatives. If they're able to see someone like them using these tools, they're gonna be more enticed to try them out and to explore with them and to have fun with them. And that was a realization we had very early on in our time here in San Francisco. As a company, when we opened our first office, we started hosting events because we had the space, and we just wanted to do some more organic marketing, and people were super interested because it was so new and people were so curious about it. We just made some events public, and people started packing our office, and that's why we just moved to a new office that is much bigger, so we can have more people and more events. Because creatives are just hungry to learn. And the best way for them to learn is to bring someone from the industry that is doing it, so they can see themselves in that position, and they can visualize themselves doing similar things that they're doing.
When you talk about events, what they expected to, what those events are about?
Yeah.
It is meetups, people talk, it's a panel, it is like a workshop, a demo walkthrough. What is the things that you see that has been giving more value to the community?
We try to do it all. There is so many formats that you can tap into that are going to be enticing different types of people to come. So we do a lot of panels. We invite a lot of our some local communities, some local organizations, some of the models that we integrate into our suite, some of their researchers, some of their creatives, some of the leadership come to our office and talk about just general creativity. Those events are a lot for... The intention of those events is not to sell Freepik as a tool itself. It's to introduce AI as a way for you to create. And if you do it through Freepik, then... yeah, that's a win for us. But it's a space to demystify Gen AI and its potential in a very human way. There's this idea that AI is taking away the soul of creatives, that is dehumanizing the creative process. But once you talk to all these creatives and you talk to their teams, because it's not only one person working on a project, it's multiple people. Is a storyteller, is the editor, is the generator, is the director, is the colorist.
Team.
You know, it still requires a whole team to do a really cool project. And when you show that to the creatives, they're just fascinating. They're fascinated by the reality of it, and we don't see the reality of AI. It's still kind of like a mysterious entity that is developing, and it's kind of blurry, and you don't really understand it. Mm-hmm. And once you put people in one room and you humanize the whole process, and you're able to shake their hand and ask them questions on how they're working and the impact that AI is having in their work and their career, in their creativity, that's a beautiful thing to see.
I think that's why for me personally, I see a lot of how the Freepik stand out, because this vision of being given to the community, I think comes a lot from like the San Francisco environment itself, and this is we're able to expand this to the United States and to the world, because we have events happening all over the world, and this way that you're able to, like exactly like say, be the face front of this organization, sitting down with the professionals that are using the tool but is still skeptical, and be able to connect them. It's like, hey, wait, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Look how we can enhance this. Look how we can do that. And they come up with questions, and then you integrate them with the community. Yeah. And then they all work together, giving their examples, sharing prompts, and like, hey, I did this and works. No, you should do this, because you can just you can just cut half of your costs by using this model, and then upscale using that model. So I see a lot of things happening, which is very interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot of education that is happening. A lot of networking, a lot of education, and within all of that is marketing.
Exactly.
Bringing resources, and that's people, that's tools, that's workflows, that's examples, that's demos, to the hands of the people that are curious about it. And if you do a good job, then slowly the community is going to start growing, and it's growing and growing. And I feel like the industry and other companies are starting to notice that this is a great way for some organic brand growth. And I think we're going to start seeing a lot more community events like this in the AI world, which I'm very happy about, because I think it feels more human, and creatives just want to connect with more creatives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have two personas that always come up with those when talking about video and creativity. We have the people that never ever work with AI, never work with creative, and they want to do videos and images. And also you have the people that are on the industry, in the video photo industry, and wants to use the new tools. What is the steps for those two different personas to start creating?
Yeah, I think for beginners, within the Freepik AI suite, we have a community space, and that's where a lot of our AI partners, which is our top group of creatives that are using Freepik, are able to share some of their work. Also, just regular users that are very proud of their work, they just post it in our community space, and and that's for image and for video as well. And for people that are curious about, they're able to scroll past all of this amazing, all types of styles, images and videos, and just choose whatever they're interested, and they're able to see the prompt that the original user used to generate that image, as well as the models and the type of seed that they use to generate that. Mm-hmm. And that's a great way to get inspiration if you're trying to do something similar. It's the cool thing about AI is it's very hard to copy. So if you're using the same prompt in the same model, you're not going to get the same image twice. So you're able to understand how prompt works, how the different controls that you have within the Freepik AI suite are able to impact your generation, and just exploring and just playing with the tool. I think that's a great way for people to get started with generating. For the professional ones, I think that's just they have a keen eye for details. They have a greater desire for control and controllability within their generation.
And consistency.
I think for those, they're going to be the harshest critics of your tool. And we're lucky,
which is good. Which is good.
Yeah. We're lucky that a lot of them are part of our community, and they like what we're doing. But for them, they're just in their own ball game. I think right now a lot of professionals are just looking how to differentiate themselves within the AI world. So how to create different styles that are innovative and pushing boundaries of generating and pushing reality and AI, and being intentional about images looking like they're AI, because now it's very hard to tell. But a lot of creatives are intentionally adding some hints of like more illustrative or more fantastical ideas with a combination of more traditional, and they're just pushing these models to levels that we haven't seen, and they're having a lot of fun with it. I think for them to be able to keep growing, we recently hosted an event in New York, and we had a morning session only with creatives, and they talked to our CEO, to our CTO, to some of our leadership, and part of that, it was a collaborative workshop. So you had some of the top creators in one room, in one table, talking to each other about their workflows, about how they're prompting, about how they're using the different models. Again, community. And I think that was the best way for them to learn, to continue growing their skills, just with each other.
Interesting. And now for the future, we see a lot of things are moving very fast. So it's very hard to predict the next tool or the next idea. But conceptually speaking, how do you see this tools, this technology is going to evolve for the next years?
I think they're going to keep getting better. I think they're going to keep getting more realistic. I think for the future, I think a lot of models are going to start looking more into less photorealistic and more into illustrative, more into more experimental textures, into claymations and those type of more illustrative styles. I think collaboration is going to be big. Next month or in November 4th, we're launching Spaces, which is going to allow for a lot of collaboration and a lot of control over scalability of your work with multiple nodes and multiple models within our AI suite. I mean, I don't know what the vision is. Do you have a vision of what's coming?
Yeah, a lot of I have a different vision, but same direction.
Yeah.
I would go more to the realistic side, because I can see that like some traditional commercials doesn't need to be recorded as the huge production as we're doing right now. Yeah. So we can do a lot of more conceptual and realistic. Could be even, I would say realistic, but doesn't need to be real. Could be 3D style or characters, but like very sharp images being generated and used this in a commercial level without the need to you go there have a 30 people crew to record like a commercial or like I can see a lot of mini series of content that has been all generated with stories and things like that. So once you're able to, like you say, able to have full control and full consistency on those projects, I can see a lot of things being all fully AI generated. And I'm not sure about the style. I think it would be more realistic, but like you say, could go towards more like a specific style that we know this AI, and don't confuse that with the actual.
That's what a lot of agencies are starting to do. They're using a lot of photorealistic and a lot of real looking videos, but they're also integrating a little part of but this is AI, and they're making fun of it in a very satirical way. And they're just not trying to hide it. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to see a lot more of bigger players starting to play with this idea of AI and just kind of owning it and taking this risk of like, we're using it. We know it's kind of silly, but it's a great resource and it's saving us money. And look what you can do. It's pretty cool. Yeah. And it's funny. So I think it's going to be some satirical use of AI.
Cool.
Yeah.
Before I enter to the rapid fire questions, do you want to go over anything else that we didn't cover so far here?
I don't think so. I think we cover most of it. I think we covered the importance of community, the importance of listening to creatives. At the end of the day, Freepik is a tool with some creative minds behind it. So it's a tool for creatives, by creatives. I think listening to where the industry is going is going to be very important. Being close to your user base and just listening to that feedback, because there's so many new companies, new models coming up, that they're kind of disposable at this point. So the game right now is, how do you stay sustainable? How do you stay relevant? And I think just having a good ear is going to be the key for that growth.
What is the one thing people often get wrong about AI, and why?
That it's completely soulless. And I think it's because so much slop is happening, and there is so much AI noise in social media and just everywhere. It's just permeating our lives. But I mean, I've teared up with some AI short films, because it's emotional. It's people still telling stories, just in a different format. And if you stop thinking that you are watching AI content and you just immerse yourself in the story and the message that the creator is trying to communicate,
then it's not soulless. Yeah,
it's not soulless.
Yeah, I am very into AI memes.
Nice.
A lot.
Yeah.
If you see, I open my Instagram discovery.
It's all of it.
You tell me. Let me open here. So, like friend of mine, like, let me see your discovery page. It's gonna be a lot of bikini girls. Like, okay, go for it, and then you click it.
Discover. It's a lot of AI. A lot of robots.
It's a lot of.
It's all AI. I can assess.
It's just funny. Like, I just keep watching.
Yeah, I think short form content is it's what we're consuming these days, and people are able to just do that at a very different scale right now. So there's a lot of content out there.
I like to watch like the baby's podcast. Yeah. I like to watch like the stories of cats. The story of cats. I see the cats cooking food.
A lot of pets are being animated these days. With AI,
and those fake security cameras. I saw one. I laughed so much.
Yeah.
So that was like it was literally a cat holding a gun from like a Ring camera.
Yeah.
And then I go there and give it a shot, boom. And then the owner's like, "What are you doing?"
It's so realistic. The voice, the sound, the reactions. I mean, there's going to be a lot of educating also within my family, just to tell my people of, like, now that I have a more trained eye of what's AI, to tell them, like, just like, this is what I'm noticing and this is why it's AI. Like, make sure you're looking for these things as well if you're like consuming content that is impactful, not just cats cooking ramen or shooting shotguns.
Yeah, because we're originally from different countries.
Yeah.
You're from Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Brazil. And we do live in a bubble here. Sometimes could be even the bubble of San Francisco, United States, which the technology it's vast and like people know the technology is going fast and those things happen. But that's very important to go back to community and education all the time with this new AI, new AI wave. So we need to be always careful when we give this to like producing this content or giving the tools for producing this content for people to be aware. Like, hey, this is AI. This is not AI. We need to have a ethical understanding.
Yeah, for sure. Responsible understanding. Yeah.
One tool we can't live without it, and why?
These days I've been doing a lot of ChatGPT. It just knows me so well at this point that it just makes my work so much easier and faster. And because there's a lot of it right now, I've just it's kind of my best friend these days when it comes to work.
I have been non-stop using ChatGPT, but recently I have been using a lot of Perplexity to do a Google search.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. So instead of going to Google, I do Perplexity.
Yeah.
Like, for example, one thing is like what's happening today in San Francisco events.
Yeah.
I think when I go to like a South event, what South events happening today, and I list like 3 events, one from Luma, another one from Eventbrite, and I was able to like quickly go there and go to the event, sign up, and literally go to the event.
Yeah.
or is doing other search for service as well, and is able to gather not only on Google but also go to Reddit and go to LinkedIn as well.
Yeah.
So we're able to talk directly with the professional. I work on PR with a PR company now that I found them through Perplexity,
Nice.
which I make the search, and then I found the CEO, and then before go to the company level, I saw what the CEO was posting and the articles was publishing on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And then I reach out to her, and then we connect the commercial team, and then I end up talking to her. Yeah. So that was like a different way to search things, not going to go only for the websites. It takes like that one extra step.
Yeah, that's so cool. I've been also really enjoying, because I have a Pixel phone, so just Gemini, that it's very easy to use the camera and just like interact with my real world and ask questions about what I'm seeing. That's been very fun to do and very actually useful.
It's kind of awkward, but sometimes
I don't do it much in public. I do it mostly when I'm at home and I'm like, what can I cook with what's in my fridge?
I was in the Walgreens, and then I was like with a headache, and then I was like, can you take a look here? What medicine? Can I take it?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, this is very good. And it's like, oh, let me lower this volume here. And then people pass by, like, are we really talking to your AI here?
I mean, I don't think it's that weird in San Francisco. Maybe outside of San Francisco, people will look at you funny, but I think in San Francisco.
Yeah, but that's the thing that's going to happen. Like, those are the things, like, you're not going to call a friend if you can just ask a quick question that can solve it.
Yeah.
So it's very, 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 very interesting, exciting times. Yeah. Who inspires you the most in tech or creativity?
I like to work closely with my own team. I think I've been very lucky to land in a company and a team where I feel very comfortable, and I think that's been very important for the sustainability of what we're doing and the speed that we're doing it and the demand that we have. I think that I don't have to look very far to feel motivated or inspired. I think just looking at my Slack channels and the people that I'm talking to and sharing the struggle with them of like, oh, it's just this last couple of months. I mean, for both of us, this last year has been a long year. And I find a lot of inspiration to the people that I work with and my peers with creativity. I don't know. I follow so many artists now in my Instagram. If you look at my feed, it's also AI, but it's like futuristic, high, really realistic looking videos. And I'm really enjoying just the innovation that people are finding through AI. Not a particular name comes to mind right now when it comes to creatives. One Jesus Terrada, he's one of the Freepik team, and the way that he's able to bring his weird creative vision to a really funny reality, and the way that he's very introspective with his work, and he's able to just I've witnessed his creation happening live. So and it's just fascinating to me how all these creative minds have been able to leverage this new technology to bring some of the really crazy ideas to reality.
Yeah, I see a lot of people that inspire me is the people that are teaching right now.
Yeah.
Because without them, it's going to be way harder for you to do things from scratch.
Yeah.
So like YouTubers that give like full tutorials step by step, those are like such incredible people.
Yeah.
That put the effort to show to other people, to the community, like, hey, that's the steps you can have to get to this point. You can open Freepik tool, for example, and the suite, and then start to play around. But if you follow the instructions, they already did that for weeks, months, days. Yeah. And you can just shorten this amount of time. So I like the individuals contributors to the YouTubers or the educators. Yeah. And also I like to consume like exactly like you mentioned, like the individual artists that I use in those tools. Yeah.
I've been saying this in the last couple of weeks through the events that we've been having. I've been saying that workflows are going to be the new currency in the AI creative world. I think people are not gatekeeping their process and their workflows, and they're inviting creators to their own processes. I have a lot of respect for them. That they're just helping others do what they're doing with their own twist and their own flavors and their own taste, but not gatekeeping and sharing their knowledge. I think it's very nice to see. I agree.
Amazing. All right, Enrique. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah. And I see you guys in the next episode.